Hi YouTube family, we are back at the studio today. I can't believe we seem to have dodged a hurricane. I don't know where it is, it might be brewing out there, but it has not come to us. So thank you to everyone who's been sending us messages, just being like, where's the hurricane? I actually don't know where it is, but it's not here. So we're over working at the studio. Yesterday you saw we had our cute little s'mores party with the boys, and all of my boys, Philip and my boys, built me a deck for the studio, a step-in deck. It is so amazing. It did rain last night, so we need to do some restaining. I'm going to show you what happened, but it's working really, it's amazing. It is so unbelievably amazing. We just carried in a whole bunch of stuff and it made it a lot easier. No one broke an ankle, but we had a really great day yesterday. So thank you for joining us. And today, because we ran out of daylight yesterday, I'm going to finish working on my work table today. Phillips is cutting a couple of boards for me so we can get this assembled. We just went to pick up another piece of plywood at the hardware store because I had a piece of plywood for the top that I already had at home, but I didn't have one for my second tier. So I had to pick that up. So that is something new I had to buy for the table. So I'm using some IKEA casters, some wood we already had, some plywood we already had, screws, and obviously our tools that we already had. And then I'm gonna use some paint that I'm doing on the outside of the studio.
All the staining we did. And it barely took, and it looks like this is about to flake off. None of it's soaked in.
We'd never used this kind of stain before. I took the advice of the lady at the hardware store because I don't usually stain outdoor projects, and clearly that was not the best thing to do.
It looks cool if you want that rustic look, but it's not even.
Now we're gonna restain it, but we know we're looking at rain the next day and a half at least.
I said it wore off where everyone was walking up and down.
It definitely didn't. It wore off. Look at this. It didn't stay at all. Like some dampness in the air last night. I don't even think it was really raining. It was misting. And also I was told we don't have to clear coat this, and that's clearly not the case. So we're gonna be getting a clear coat. Once we redo it, we'll have to put a clear coat on it.
Stuck to that part, but not this part.
Yeah, so weird. But anyways, the stairs are beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm very happy with the stairs, but we're gonna have to fix that.
The stairs are so nice.
Oh yeah.
They're sturdy. I could just walk on these stairs all day.
I was gonna say you're getting stir crazy, but you're getting stair crazy.
Last leg.
That's the last leg.
Right.
I liked it. I really did not want the table to be, remember it's also gonna be on casters. It's gonna be up another inch. I didn't want a table that was as tall as like a kitchen table, because then you're constantly leaning over it. Especially when you're filming, I'd prefer to film like a little bit higher than my midsection. Otherwise it's just like a weird look. So keeping a few different factors, functionality, aesthetics, and what it looks like on camera as well. Whatever you want. And if I find it's a little bit too tall, well, guess what? We just cut the 6 legs down just a tiny bit, and then it's not going to be too tall.
What are we repurposing this wood from?
Who knows?
Who knows? Do you know?
What wood is this from? That's fun, Philly.
Yeah.
That's fun. What are these boards from?
Repurposing, and I know YouTube family. I know you're quick. I know you know what this is.
There's a little bit more of it over here as a sneak peek. So in order for us to be able to trace where we need to cut out of the plywood here, that's actually going to be on top of this, but we just need to be able to trace on it. That's why we've got it underneath. We flipped our table all the way up right this way. We thought the camera was going, but it's really hot today. Holy moly. So we're gonna now trace out where these legs are so that we can cut that out of the plywood part, because none of this on the bottom is screwed together. I hope I'm making sense. I'm not entirely sure how to explain it, but I flipped it so I can trace it in parts without screwing it together, and then I can flip it back over and then assemble it properly with the screws.
Yeah. I'll go in too.
One day I wear my hair down.
You look beautiful. It's too hot though.
It's not sunny hot, it's muggy hot. Like the air is so wet. We're gonna have to just know that it's gonna be straight back once we
Yeah.
get from the edges. Yeah. I feel like I'm in a fort.
Nice table.
This reminds me when the kids were little, we used furniture to make sheet forts everywhere.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna flip it back again so we can get the board out.
Okay, I'll film, you flip.
Oh man! Yeah, right. We can just leave it on this side, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're gonna cut out these shapes that I traced here where the legs go. Philip's gonna cut them for me. I didn't bring the jigsaw, so we're just gonna use the circular to do it. And then we can assemble it into the bottom with the legs. So I guess everyone's preference for what height they would have their table would be different, but I'm making my table 36 inches tall, and then it's gonna be another 3/4 of an inch tall once I put the topper on. I'm doing that so that I'm not leaning forward all the time. When you're working for hours standing at a spot, the last thing you wanna do is be arching over the whole time. When it's December and January and February and I'm complaining that it's cold out, remind me of this day as we're dripping.
I learned this technique from my grandfather. He called it no power.
Who knew the studio was gonna be our new home gym?
Sorry. Okay, we put the fan on.
Work at your own risk.
Yeah, it's worth the risk today. So we're willing to risk it all because it's so hot and it's actually cooling this place down really nice. So Elysia right now I love these casters. I think they're great.
I bought these to put on that table I have that's foldable on both sides, the IKEA one that's so heavy that you've seen me use.
Right.
I thought this would mean that I wouldn't have to ever lift again. I could just wheel it all the way around the house. So I'm just using what I have. So I have 2 packs of 4, and I'm going to put 6 or 8 casters on my table here, just working from the corners. That way, if I'm say working on a piece of like finished furniture or something, and I want to be in front of my display wall, I can roll this sucker right out of the way. Or if I want to like reconfigure, depending on what I'm working on, I can make it go portrait-wise or landscape-wise or whatever in the studio. I want all of the shelving in here as much as I possibly can to be versatile no matter what I'm working on. I think that's like proactive thinking for future projects.
Yeah. Oh my, amazing.
And there's wood chunks on the floor, even minus the wood chunks. This thing can go wherever you want it to go.
That's so fun.
Height. There's just gonna be one more plywood board on top, and I have a little trim skirting for the top. But I don't want to put the top on until I paint the base. I think I'm gonna do the whole base black.
Good job, bud. Oh, yo.
Okay. See the height?
Yep.
No more arching over for this girl.
Good height.
I think that's like a much nicer height. Like no one needs to, like if I'm filming, I'm not like leaning over. I mean, it's a tiny bit too tall, maybe, but I don't think so. Like this is how I want it for filming on it. And if I'm working here and I'm doing something, I don't really want to be arched over. So if I'm finding it too tall, well then I can figure it out. But I think it's good.
Wear taller shoes.
I'm thinking about skirting the outside part here so that when I'm like leaning against it, I'm not up against a rough edge of plywood or something. So then this would be black, 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 black.
Yeah, let's do it.
But what about the top part?
Well, if you're gonna paint it all black, paint it all black.
Cute. I forgot it yesterday. I was so disappointed because I really wanted to hang it up. How adorable.
Oh my gosh.
Welcome to your studio. It's literally looking so good. Look at how adorable my studio is turning out so far. This is just 1 week's progress. And it hasn't even been nice weather all week for us to work out here. So think of how far ahead we're gonna be in another week's time.